We have Brian Wade with us here today. Where is Brian? When Brian felt called to open a homeless shelter in Elyria, he didn't just volunteer his time. He and his wife moved their family, a baby and 2 young ones, into the shelter and lived there for 7 years. He and his volunteers. Brian and his volunteers didn't just provide hot meals and clean clothes, though that would have been a lot. At his youth outreach center, he didn't just give kids a safe place to come in from the streets. In all of this, Brian gave himself. Amen. He didn't show people in need the right path. He walked it with them. Amen. Not just as a guide, but as a friend. This good man, and others like him, they are witnesses. And the needy people who have encountered them feel a presence greater than just one compassionate soul. What's really at work here is the Spirit of the Lord.
Amen.
And there is no end to the good that it can inspire. For our part, should we have the chance to serve, I want you to know this. Mitt Romney and I share your cause, and we will seek your counsel. We will remember your hospitality today, and it will be returned. The transformative power of your example will inform our approach to public policy. And when the question is how best to help low-income families reach for opportunity, we will not defer to the Washington Knows Best crowd.
Come on.
We will talk to the real experts, like the people who are right here in this room with us today. So what is government's duty when it comes to the institutions of civil society? Basically, it is to secure their rights, respect their purposes, and preserve their freedom.
Amen. Nothing undermines the essential and honorable work these groups do quite like the abuse of government power. Take what just happened this past January, when the Department of Health and Human Services issued new rules requiring Catholic hospitals, charities, and universities to violate their deepest principles. Come on.
Never mind your own conscience, they were basically told. From now on, you're going to do things the government's way.
That's right.
This mandate isn't just a threat to religious charities. It's a threat to all those who turn to them in times of need.
That's right.
That's right.
In the name of strengthening our safety net, this mandate and others will weaken it.
Come on.
Here's the good news. When Mitt Romney is president, this mandate will be gone.
Yeah.
When that happens, these groups will be able to do and continue to do the good work that they do.
Come on.
Look, it's not just the abuse of government that undermines civil society. It's also the excesses of government.
Yep.
Look at the road we are on, with trillion-dollar deficits each and every year. Debt on this scale is so destructive in so many ways. And one of them is that it crowds out civil society by drawing resources away from private giving. Even worse is the prospect of a debt crisis, which will come unless we do something different very soon. Look, when government's own finances collapse, society's most vulnerable are the first victims, as we are seeing right now in the troubled welfare states in Europe. Many there feel that they have nowhere to turn for help.
We must never let that happen here in America. Where government is entrusted with providing a safety net, Mitt Romney and I have our own vision for how to keep it strong. It's a vision that leaves the failures of the past in the past and proposes instead to build on those reforms that have worked. For starters, a Romney-Ryan administration will clearly restore those parts of the welfare reform law that have been undone or weakened. We will do this for the sake of millions of Americans who deserve to lead lives of dignity and freedom.
That's right.
We will also apply other lessons from welfare reform success. For example, many of the solutions that worked in the 1990s came from such states as my home state of Wisconsin, and leaders such as former Governor Tommy Thompson. President Clinton and Congress recognized that it would be a good idea to give states more power to tailor welfare to the unique needs of their citizens. Mitt Romney and I want to apply this idea to other anti-poverty programs, such as Medicaid and food stamps. The federal government will continue to provide the resources, but we would remove endless federal mandates and restrictions that hamper state efforts to make these programs more effective. If the question is what is best for low-income Ohioans, shouldn't we let Ohioans make that call?
That's right. Amen.
Amen.
But strengthening these safety net programs is still not enough. If we want to restore the promise of America, then we must reform our broken public school system. It works for a lot of people, but it doesn't work for everybody. The special interests that dominate this system always seem to have their own